Hi, and I'm back before you. And this is again Sophie Kinsella's Becky Bloomwood with her husband Luke. And this time the script is for my niece, my older sister's daughter. She and I are 18 years apart. She turns 40 this December, and I'm hoping last ditch effort for child two to come to her. She has an 11-year-old, a completely adorable, who grew a bit taller, went through a growth spurt while we were there. I see him in my nephew's wedding, and I thought this child is a little bit of a, you know, is very cute, but I'm mistaking him to be younger because he's not as tall as my son at the same age. And then he just shot up in a week's time. I'd taken him a really past years, all past visits, quite expensive gifts. This time it was just a pinata from Dollarama. Not about, but I'm sure he had fun with it, because he's grown up. He goes to the store himself, so he got candy, filled it up, and played with his friends. I hope. So anyway, so this is for my niece. She is very sweet, very talented. Has senior level certificates in classical dance and classical music. So some setting for that. Okay, English translation to follow. I'll have to rack my brains to come up with similar settings for. I'm spoiling the surprise. Here goes. Setting in Sharper Stop again, because this is the store I've gone to for the. Before that, a long time back, when I used to drive, when my son was a child, we used to do the rounds. All the MG Road, Commercial Street, and other places, fourth block, which has lost its charm because it's still being rebuilt, and looks a little tacky at this time. Fourth block, Jayanagar fourth block. So, anyways, so there are other stores I've shopped in. Anyways, Becky to Luke. Luke, ನಮ್ಮಿಬ್ಬರ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯು ನನ್ನ ಶಾಪಿಂಗಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಶಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ದಿನ ಬಗೆಬಗೆಯಾದ ಅಡಿಗೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಬಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಲ್ಯೂಕ್, ಇನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಹೆಂಡತಿ, ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟವಿರುವುದು ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ವಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಗೆಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ. ನೀನೇ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೀಯ. ಯು ಪ್ಲೇ ಫೇರ್ ಹನಿ. ಬೆಕಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕ್ಸಿ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ನಾನು ಬಲೆ ಹಾಕೋದೆ ಅಡಿಗೆಯಿಂದ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕ್ಸಿ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಬಲೆ ಹಾಕೋದೆ ಅಡಿಗೆಯಿಂದ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮನೆ ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದಾನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಲ. ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕೆಲಸ ಕಾರ್ಯ ವಿಲಾಸ ಮೌರ್ಯ. This will bring back the golden age of Chandragupta Maurya, my father used to say. Luke, I'm totally flattered. Becky, ನೀನು ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂಗಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಗಂಡನ ದುಡ್ಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ವತಃ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕಾಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ. This is a constitutional right. Our country grants, as do other countries. Becky, ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಬರಬಹುದು, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಲ್ಯೂಕ್, ಸರಿ, ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರು ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ತಿರಾನೆ, so it's easy. At the store, jewelry section, of course. Well, beeline, because my older sister is very fond of jewelry, as are my older cousins. They spend, chunky, and here I am, all diva style jewelry, which is cosmetic jewelry, and they were all in, this big diamond pendants and the works. The one cousin was in, cosmetic jewelry, beautiful cosmetic, trendy. But these are also very pretty, very beautiful, cost the packet, to buy. Anyways, at the store jewelry section, Becky looks at a Navaratna set, the 9-gem set. She sees herself dancing as Amarapali, the dancer, in the king's court, and he falls in love with her. A love scene to follow as the king played by her husband. Liu, Navarasa Bhava Navaratna. Ninu Kollu, Becky. At the silk saree section, Becky, ನನಗೆ ಸೀರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ, ಹಬ್ಬಗಳಿಗೆ ಉಡುವ ಆಸೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುವ ಸೀರೆಗಳಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಿಯು, ನನಗೆ ನೀನು ಈ ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಟಿ ಅಲಂಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಆ ಚಿತ್ರವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮದುವೆ ಬ- ಮದುವೆ ಬ- ಮದುವೆ ಊಟ ತಿಂದಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎ- ಬೆಕಿ ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಚಿತ್ರಾನ್ನ ಎನ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಖುಷಿ. ಚಿತ್ರಾನ್ನ ಇಸ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ರೈಸ್, ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಸೊ ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, he said picture ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So I'm going to translate in English. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಂಪು ಬಣ್ಣ, temple border. She sees herself dressed as Mirabai, the um, the devotional song singer, and her husband coming to her as Krishna out of the Gita Upadesha. She sings a Meera bhajan to him. Liu, Nodu, temple border ide. So they buy the sari. They move on to the skincare section and choose beauty masks for Becky. Becky lingers over Shahnaz's miracle promising beauty mist mask while Luke looks at Dior and Clinique. I would bet my money on this Luke character, alright? Becky, Luke, ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೆನೇಡಿಯನ್ and ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ಇದೆ in this beauty mask. ಶಹನಾಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡಿನ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲೆಗಾರಿ. ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಲ್ಯೂ, ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್. ಸೇಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಲ್ಯೂ, ಅಸ್ಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಕಿ. ಜಾಣೆ ಮತ್ತು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜೋಪಾನ ಮತ್ತು ಜಿಲ್ ಜಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೊಳೆಯೋಲು ನೀನೆ. ಬೆಕಿ, ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಹಾಡು. ನಾಕೊಂದ್ಲ ನಾಲ್ಕು, 4 times 1 is 4. ನಾಕೊಂದ್ಲ ಎಂಟು, 4 times 2 is 8. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಲೆಕ್ಕದ ತಂಟು. This is the sum of all sums. And ನಾನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೇನೆ, ದಂಟಿನ ಕಂತೆಯು ಬರಲಿ ಲ್ಯೂ, ತಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ನನಗೇನು. So this was my script for Becky Bloomwood, Sophie Kinsella's Becky Bloomwood with her husband Luke shopping. My niece has an 11-year-old son, as I would like to say. So it's a different setting, but if if it becomes a series, say in Bangalore, then they can revert to Sophie Kinsella's books herself, by herself, and write scripts. So I made it easy. So, anyways, Becky to Luke, our beginning dialogue. Our love is enhanced by my shopping obsession, and by the shopaholic in me, because whenever I shop and spend your money, I make a lot of dishes, special dishes, a variety of dishes. So, and I serve you and myself. Luke, what else can I do, hon? Beautiful wife, um, of, and with a beautiful character, which I like. Cooking, baking, and because it has to be pertinent to this lifestyle in Canada or America. So, cooking, baking, and you don't spend so much on cooking and baking. Then you cook yourself, you bake yourself. So you play fair. Becky, so I, make a beeline for your sexy self, Luke, with my cooking and baking, uh, and a little bit of work around the home. Does not hurt with this objective. And as my mother and father used to say, work and actions of work make a house like the Maurya dynasty. So and this would bring back the golden age of Chandragupta Maurya, or here would make the golden age of kings never existed in America or Canada, but Britain, when they were colonies, there were kings, and so who knows, golden age of let's say current King Charles III. Although I have no idea, Britain wants elections again. The Keir Starmer is unpopular, But this is like becoming a habit with Britain. Hosting, holding elections all the time. It plays havoc with the economy. So, constant elections. But Rishi Sunak lasted 2 years, and I think Keir Starmer also lasted about 2 years now. Yeah. So, but typically 4 years. A prime minister has to last 4 years. Anyways, coming back to the script, Luke, I'm totally flattered, Becky. You can go shopping. As the law says, um, store buyers have to spend their husband's money or the money they make, and this is a constitutional right in this country as in all countries. Becky says she's cooked, she's done with cooking, the dinner's ready, and you can come along too for the shopping experience. Luke, the two of us will go together since the store is close by. And at the store, in the jewelry section, Becky looks at a 9-gem set and she sees herself dancing ballet in Swan Lake's, as the main female dancer in the classical ballet production Swan Lake. And she's in a ball gown with those beautiful jewelry, maybe 9 gems. It could catch on here. 9 gems would be nice, or seven. Maybe seven is more significant here. 7 octaves, 7 colors, 7 rainbow colors. Um, Seven, Brad Pitt, seven brides for 7 wives, seven pillars of wisdom, T. Lawrence's. Seven's more significant here. So maybe 7 gems could catch on. And so she's doing the Swan Lake, and the king falls in love with her, and the king is her husband, Liu. And a love scene ensues. Ensues. Oh, I'm getting confused. Ensues. Tomato, ensues. The Scottish are coming into my tongue. Tonight we sail into history. Sean Connery. Liu. Navarasa Bhava. The 9 juices the 9 creative juices, the expression coming out, the 9 creative juices can be brought about by the 9 gems. So this is a critical 9 expressions in classical Bharatanatyam. So that's the Navarasa Bhava, the 9 creative juices. So you buy this, he says. And at the silk saree section, so this would be ball gowns for here, Becky. I love all the ball gowns here, because ball gowns or elaborate dresses, dressy dresses, make me feel all full of enthusiasm. And for Christmas and Easter and Canada Day and other celebrations, I'd like to wear these ball gowns. And there are so many beautiful ball gowns. Luke says, I picture you in this red dress, with you having dressed yourself up in jewelry and makeup. And I'm reminded of this with this picture of yours, of the two of us having lunch on our wedding day and dinner on our wedding day. And I feel the same sort of emotional high I felt on that day. So Becky, my husband, you're happy with just picture rice. It's a beautiful red color with temple designs, or with crosses all over. Crosses, you have to remember. I said on an aside, quick aside, which I observed to the Pope and Prime Minister Mark Carney in the Prime Minister's office, because it's about Christianity. You see, you've limited by yourselves by the whole concept. The basis, as my friend Peter had said during my graduate chemical engineering days, of the immaculate conception. So maybe evolutionary, your anatomies, female anatomy has, changed itself to adapt to the Christian uh, immaculate conception. So, the whole lies, it's, the, the Pope hasn't gotten back to me. But I said this is a crucial thing, men do more loving, indulge you more if on the other side, but here, bam, bam, thank you, bam. I see no husband lingering over me, because he could miss the boat. Because of some lack of his own anatomical you know, projections. Yeah, anyways, and then so at this time, so coming back to this manuscript, so she sees herself dressed as, who could it be? Maybe you, but she's a Spanish singer, played by Madonna. Eva, I think they say Eva. I know they say Eva here. It's Eva. Eva. Oh, I forgot. But she's Spanish, so South American, I think, or she sees herself classical singer, female classical singer would be. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, they're all male composers and who's an opera singer? She sees herself as an opera singer, and as an opera singer, she's singing, and the god of gods, Greek civilization, Roman civilization, um, Zeus, Jupiter, they all come and from their heavenly abode and, make love to. Anyways, so Kluke, yeah, it's a beautiful. It has religious designs on it, and you know, and so they move on to the skincare section and choose beauty mask for Becky. Becky lingers over somewhere here. Dior. Becky would choose Dior, of course. Here, youth perfecting mask, ladies. Youth perfecting mask. 1 minute, it does wonders. Or Christian Dior, well, is making love to my skin, and I wish he continues to do so. All right. And miracle performing beauty mask while Luke looks at Dior and Clinique. So it could be some local beauty mask, Marcel. Here it's a 10-minute mask. It's cheap. It's just $25. Dior you have to pay 140. So Marcel, and so Becky says you like the Canadian American brands, Luke, while I like the Marcel brand, which has natural extract. What's a natural extract which is very good for the skin? Oh, oh, nothing with caffeine. Oh, it could be flower extract, some rose. Yeah, rose is good. Rose extract and. So rose is Canadian. The English rose. From the English rose comes the English Canadian rose comes the English Canadian lands English Canadian artist. But remember, Luke, as the heroine, she is marked with accounts. And so she picked a sale item. And Luke, astute and alluring, Becky. You're bright and you're careful. and you shine like the Christmas lights. Becky ends by singing in a cinema style song. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. This is all there is to addition and subtraction, or multiplication. And as I say, the bunch of notes, words of notes, the bunches of words of notes must come our way. Yours and mine. So that's my script, and I'm signing out. I'm coming back with an experiment, and yeah, and I hope to see you watching all of my videos. Signing out. Thank you, Gayatri B. Sitaram from my YouTube webpage.